Colin Kaepernick is due what seems like for a great pay raise once his rookie contract is up. Michael Schur is here, a humongous 49ers fan. Now, the man's name who wrote this piece is Lowell Cohen. Here is what he wants. Cohen, excuse me. Cohen. Yeah. Here's what he wants. Or here's what the 49ers should do, in his humble opinion. They should remind Kaepernick and his agent that Kaepernick has a contract, a valid binding contract, written on paper, a document he signed in sound mind. They should have told him, they should hold him, excuse me, to that contract, see how he plays next season, see if he improves in the red zone, see if he sees the entire field, see if he wins the Super Bowl. Now, reading that, knowing that he is on his rookie deal, he kind of wants a pay raise, and I believe that he is deserving of it. But, you know, firstly, I'll give my take in a second, but what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I think Lowell Cohen's like a very abrasive guy. He's an abrasive reporter, but he's not entirely wrong. He's not entirely wrong, but he's also a little bit naive here, because the way rookie contracts work is, you know, they could just let him sit there. Then he becomes a free agent next year, and it's going to cost this team a ton more money to re-sign him. So what you do is you restructure a contract now to avoid having to deal with that later. Whenever he could hit the open market, everybody would be there at his door, presumably, and they would have to pay a lot. They would have to pay a lot more. And so I do think that it obviously makes sense in sports when to lock up your good players by extending and amending their contracts. The point Cohen makes that I agree with is that, you know, I'm not 100% sold on Colin Kaepernick. I mean, well, for a lot of reasons. I don't think he's as good a quarterback as people think he is. I don't think he sees the whole field. I don't think he checks down well. I think that he is obviously a great runner, a tremendous athlete. He's a pretty accurate passer.
Sure.
But I don't. When he has,
he's not totally accurate, though. I mean,
he's a pretty accurate. I didn't say he's a really accurate. He's pretty accurate. I went from he's accurate to he's pretty accurate. But you know, he's played a season and a half really for the 49ers. So you say that he's taken them to 2 straight NFC Championship games. Well, he kind of has, yeah, but he's taken to 1 and a half because Alex Smith was there.
I was waiting for
half that season. Well, I'm just saying that he hasn't been magical. He's been really good, but he's got a great offense and a great line. He's going to get a new center next year.
And he has a good coach.
And he has a good coach who they might trade.
At the end of the day, he's a good coach.
He's a good football coach,
yes.
Yeah. No question. I mean, I get, you know, he's a good football coach on the field. I don't know anything about him in the locker room, but they say that he's lost the room, but I don't really believe that. However, Colin Kaepernick makes a lot of mistakes. He's not magical. He doesn't get the ball like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or you know, Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees. You say, okay, we have a shot here. I don't always think that we're going to drive down the field and do well when he has the ball. But he's also
unless Frank Gore's on the field.
Second year. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Frank Gore's a great runner, but he's also older now, and they have to diversify that.
Is he 30?
I mean, he's at the end of his contract now. This is his last year that he's playing into, so he'll be a free agent. I imagine they'll structure something for him too, sure. Maybe get another year out of him, or he'll retire. I don't know, but the point I'm making is that I would not give the farm to Colin Kaepernick yet. As a matter of fact, if I were the 49ers, I would draft a quarterback next month, because I think that
to put a little pressure on him.
To put a little pressure. There's nobody to challenge him in camp. I mean, Colt McCoy was their backup. That's not going to, you know, that's not going to fly. I really think that they should bring in, or keep Colt McCoy, bring in a steady hand backup Sean Hill type quarterback, and then draft a quarterback and to give a little pressure to Kaepernick.
Okay, so me personally, since you're asking for my opinion, obviously, me personally, I feel like for the most part, I side with the players, because one hit, they're done. Who knows, like however amount is guaranteed. If they need to sign the big contract to look out for their life after football and whatnot, and just for some insurance, I side with the players. Because again, anything can happen on any given day. He takes one big hit as he's running down the sidelines. He has a concussion, his football career is over, and then he's left with
But also
exactly?
What people forget is it's often the team that goes to the player at this point. So it's probably the 49ers going to Colin Kaepernick and his people and saying, hey, we want to do something. Not Colin Kaepernick saying, I want more money right now. Because, or it's both. But very often the team is...
Kaepernick started out, not to cut you off, saying that he's on his rookie deal. He wants to play it out and see where it goes. And then he kind of backtracked a little bit and said, maybe I'm a little...
That's the public face they put on it. So, but when you start hearing numbers like $18 million per... That makes you come to the table. Yeah, that makes you come.
Well, what would you pay him if you had to restructure right now? What is he worth to you?
If I had to restructure, it's a really I don't know. It's a really great question, right? Because I would do a lot for a shorter period of time, or I would do less for, if you're going to tie him up for 4 years. I mean,
why a short period instead of just keeping him there for 6 years?
Because my jury is still out on Colin Kaepernick. He's an exciting quarterback. To me, he's not the answer. But,
will a Super Bowl win convince you?
Of course it will. Of course it will. Listen, he went to the championship game this year.
Yeah.
They're a good football team, and they're a good football team with a good quarterback.
And a good defense.
I just don't think that he is everything that he's pumped up to be. I don't think he's the guy whose jersey should be the #1 seller in the NFL.